Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, YouTubers. It's been quite some time. I realized I'm wearing this hat, which I've kind of thought of as my, it's a special hat. You know, I used to wear it a lot. Kind of my general's hat, if you will, leadership. I'm going to talk about something this morning, and I'll just preface it a little bit. I've had a odd morning. I woke up about halfway through the night with a strange dream, and I woke up and kind of wondered if there's any meaning to it, so I did some research and then about ready to go back to sleep and called a friend, and he was just getting off work. We talked for a little bit. But anyway, and we talked about this, and he's been following it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a video on this. I have done a video regarding this topic before, a couple of them, from the aspect of the Prophecy Club, Stan Johnson's videos on it. He's done probably more than 2 by now. Maybe he's been following on a regular basis. I have not been. But just because of all that, I happened to kick this up. I popped open this email, which I rarely do. I hardly ever open emails from, this is called whatdoesitmean.com. It is a supposed Russian-based intelligence source from the Kremlin. I will just preface this as I always do. Yes, it's a weird service. Yes, it's an odd news source, but it is not mainstream media per se. And one thing that's been interesting to me, every single time, in every single one I've ever looked at, every single link works. That says nothing about what their interpretation of the link says. I'm just saying that every single link has worked. A lot of times you pick up a news source, you click a link, and that it's gone. That's never been the case with this source. I'm not even going to go into what they claim the beginnings of this organization is, but it goes back about 500 BC. I'll just put it that way. All right, whatdoesitmean.com. This is some of their recent articles. You can go to the website. You can look at these. I'm going to read these because almost every single one of these is leading up to what I'm going to read. And I'm not totally recovered. I'm fairly recovered from my Sunday night almost choking to death bout. And we need to have some first aid classes, and people need to be more aware of when someone is in danger of dying to actually help them instead of just sashaying along their business. It happened with Bill and his wife. You know, Bill, Shirley needs you. Shirley was having a heart attack and she was dying. Bill instantly knew it. This guy that said, Bill, Shirley needs you, was clueless. Very sad. So when someone's choking to death, try to help them out. All right, top U.S. officials confirm that to Putin that Trump is preparing for military takeover of the United States. Okay. Looming arrest and trial of Hillary Clinton throws Russia into full war footing. Ominous Trump warning of calm before the storm, now joined by CIA's most feared fixer, begins Washington death watch countdown. Putin warns nation to prepare after Trump begins formation of martial law military government. Martial law military government, his top aide hints, is led by QAnon. U.S. warplanes fill night skies over America as President Trump nears martial law imposition. President Trump's first martial law threat to Democrats invokes coup plotters' rage. U.S. military prison aircraft stuns civilians with night combat maneuver as top Trump surrogate hints QAnon sealed indictments are near release. Silence falls upon America after British court proves Hillary Clinton created Russia hoax scheme to overthrow Trump. Mysterious QAnon message from Air Force One solved with shocking U.S. justice. Okay. I'm not going to read the whole article because it's too much information, even for me. I mean, I'm not going to wade through it. You can read it yourself. December 18th, 2018. Deep State cries, "We don't know how to stop it," as QAnon forces backing Trump prepare for mass arrests. I will briefly say the mass arrests are of bad people. And I'm talking traitors. And if you combine the idea of a pediatrician, that's a child doctor, a pedophile, someone who molests children, and the word carnivore, or a omnivore, someone that eats everything, a herbivore, something that eats vegetation, and an omnivore, something that eats everything. These people are pedivores. Okay? Fact. And I don't want to even think it beyond that, but these people eat children for a living. Appointed new Ministry of Defense report circulating in the Kremlin today documenting for the Security Council continuing operations being conducted by the mysterious U.S. military intelligence organization backing President Trump called QAnon. Notes that following the 10 December radar disappearing combat maneuver performed over the heartland of America by a U.S. military aircraft tasked with transporting high-level prisoners, at least two more of these high-level prisoner transport U.S. military aircraft have performed radar disappearing combat maneuvers over Maine and Florida. The one in Florida to be particularly noted as it was combined with a mysterious, shadowy combat extraction exercise conducted in Miami Beach by U.S. commandos and selected local police officers, one of whom was a SWAT officer said to have been reprimanded because he wore his QAnon patch while posing with Vice President Pence. All of which brings into sharp relief why, this past August, the deep state aligned Washington Post fearfully declared QAnon is scary because it's getting bigger. It's scary because we don't know how to stop it. And it's scary because the people behind it won't be stopped. Urgent message, please pay attention. No matter what race, gender, or religion you are, no matter who you voted for, no matter if you hate Donald Trump, no matter if you hate cops or government in general, no matter if you love the news on CNN, MSNBC, and hate all other channels, no matter if you are young or old, no matter if you give a damn about politics, world peace, rape, or corruption, very soon terrible news will spread. It will seem impossible to believe horrible, sickening, unbelievable things. It will shake your world and may turn everything you believed in upside down. People you know will be accused of unbelievable, monstrous things. This could be people in Hollywood, politicians, journalists, pop stars, charities, religious leaders, institutions, heads of state, police officers, etc. We want you to know that good people have been fighting a silent battle behind the screen in order to save the world from terrible horrors. It was a lonely war. It was a silent one. Chances are you did not even notice, but you will soon. That's why I am warning you and why you must hear me out. We're just a bunch of anonymous people from around the globe. We don't want money or fame. We just couldn't watch the world burn down and do nothing. That's why we are trying to warn you. We have been supporting our president, Donald J. Trump, in his efforts to drain the swamp. I don't care if you like our president or not. I just want you to know that he will protect you regardless. Horrible things happened that will come to light. Please don't be afraid. You will be safe. And on the left there, please read this message and share it with everyone. Time is very short. You need to hear this, and you need to hear this right now. Another brief aside, the story behind the QAnon thing is that military leaders and people in the NSA, maybe some CIA, but they specifically chose Donald Trump to be president in an attempt to prevent the deep state from destroying the world and to prevent the spread of their pedophilia. According to this report, most important to know about the deep state-aligned Washington Post is whom it conveys its fearful QAnon messages to, which is most certainly not to the American people, as like the equally deep state-aligned New York Times, they've erected around themselves a paywall to keep all but the elite classes from being able to read their screeds, but whose cryptic messages instead are meant to further the coup plot against President Trump. Best exampled this past week by their publishing an article titled New Report on Russian Disinformation Prepared for the Senate Shows the Operation's Scale and Sweep, that laughably asserted the most sweeping analysis yet of Russia's disinformation campaign around the 2016 election found the operation used every major social media platform to deliver words, images, and videos tailored to voters' interests to help elect President Trump, and worked even harder to support him while in office. The Kremlin, of course, this report continues, was quick to blast this hysterical Washington Post screed, calling it beyond understanding, with it to be particularly noted that this so-called Senate report was in fact created by a left-wing operation that previously classified more than 11 different American conservative outlets as junk news. And though this report stated that while it is the most comprehensive study on all the data released, the reality proves that only small amounts of data have been released from major social media firms from which it based its comical claims on. The very definition of fake news. The Washington Post, journalism dies in fakeness. Liberal biased, anti-Trump propaganda, false stories based on anonymous sources, aka fake news. You are fake news. So that's going to be probably about it. Like I said, you can read the rest of the whole article. I'm going to skip ahead to this is a Facebook posting. Please share this information far and wide. It is legit, and it comes from a source in direct contact with the military. The generals are counting on our teams to communicate this to the public. I will say that the information about extra supplies was not part of this morning's message. However, we have continuously heard this from many military sources, so it seems like good information to include in the meme. Anyone doubting the validity and purpose of our team should find General Flynn's Digital Soldiers video. If this were anything nefarious, the military would not warn us ahead of time. They are controlling this. President Trump is not trying to be a dictator. He is trying to keep you safe. If this idea is new to you, research. We have a huge amount of information as to why this is occurring compiled for you. hashtag QAnon, hashtag Great Awakening, hashtag MAGA, Make America Great Again. This is a message directly from military generals to the people of the USA. Please share far and wide. The military will be invoking emergency martial law after Christmas. The authorization for this action is based on two existing laws. The Insurrection Act of 1807 was put in place to control a violent uprising against an authority or government. The International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977 was passed to protect against threats to the economy or the people in the USA. Total martial law will include curfews to keep you safe. Guidelines and instructions will be communicated clearly. This is the first time in our country's history that a president will be given full power to control all acts of terrorism from within our borders. Donald J. Trump was the man chosen by the military to do this job. Do not be afraid. We simply ask that you be prepared for any resulting interruption of services by having extra food, extra water, medications, pet food, cash on hand. Why? Should tensions arise, it is important that you and your family have the ability to stay out of the way. The military has sworn an oath of allegiance to our president and to keeping all citizens of the USA safe. So, there you have it. And no matter what, everyone should have extra food, extra water, medications, pet food, cash on hand, fuel. Have enough fuel. Make sure if your propane tank needs filled, fill it. If you have a wood pile, make sure it's stocked up. You know, nothing you can do about it. If you have a generator, test fire it up, make sure it works. You know, if you have any other additional fuel sources, make sure they are operable and you have fuel for them. So that is about it. I think that's going to conclude this morning's broadcast. Not too often that I'm at a loss for words, but I don't really have anything else to say, so I won't say anything. Hopefully I can get to feeling better by then. It's been rough. Been about 3 days recuperating from this incident. So, well, the first day was nothing. Nothing. I couldn't do anything. Yesterday I actually did take a jacuzzi bath. That helped a little bit. All right, that's it. Pay attention. You know, I mean, for all you out there that, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've been saying it over and over again. You know, the survivalists were the ones that left the bloody fingernail scratches on the outside of Noah's Ark. The survivors were inside. You should be in the Ark by now. If you're not, get in the Ark. Get out of the cities. Get out of the cities. Get out of the cities. Get away from the coasts. Get away from the borders. Well, rule of thumb. Don't live in flatland America. It's tank country. So, I guess I just say, Yahweh bless everyone. Yahweh bless us all and protect us. And if this is all bogus, it's too bad. Hopefully it's not bogus, because there are far too many people in this country that need to be dealt with. tried and summarily executed, held for trial with no bail. And all their money needs to be completely worthless, needs to be put to good use. So, sad days we're living in. And this may be, who knows? I'm not even gonna conjecture. Not even gonna conjecture. But as it stands, as much as I've seen of it, it seems to be a positive thing. So I won't go beyond that. But you've been warned, at least by me. If you haven't been warned by anybody else, if you're hearing this, please listen. Get something done between now and that day that we perceive as a great day, which it isn't. All right. Actually, the enemy's day. All right, hallelujah. That's it. I'm done. Bye. Hasta la vista, baby. See you later.